Most gardeners grow horseradish for its fiery flavor, but, few realize how valuable this plant becomes once you think beyond the kitchen. A full crop of horseradish isn't something to struggle with, it's something to celebrate. In the hands of a gardener, horseradish becomes a tool, a resource, and in some cases an outright secret weapon. Today we're breaking down 5 powerful, practical, field-tested uses for horseradish that go far beyond the dinner plate. These are uses old gardeners relied on long before store shelves were lined with specialized products, and every one of them provides real, measurable value in the garden. Horseradish becomes one of the most effective natural pest control ingredients when turned into a root-based spray. The root contains glucosinolates and allyl isothiocyanate, compounds that create the heat horseradish is known for. These same compounds irritate soft-bodied insects such as aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, and certain caterpillars. The key is preparing the spray correctly so that it is strong enough to work without damaging the plant you're treating. A reliable formula is 1 cup of grated horseradish root mixed with 4 cups of water. Allow this to steep for 24 hours, then strain and dilute the extract by half. Adding a teaspoon of mild liquid soap helps the spray stick to foliage. Apply early in the morning to affected leaves, making sure to test a small area first. Many gardeners find this spray particularly effective on brassicas, roses and fruit trees dealing with soft-bodied pest infestations. It is not a cure-all, but as a part of an integrated pest management routine, it can drastically reduce populations without resorting to synthetic chemicals. Horseradish can also be used to boost soil health indirectly by supporting microbial activity through fermentation and composting. Now, fresh horseradish is extremely pungent, which makes it slow to break down if you just toss it raw into compost. But when you chop it up and mix it in controlled amounts with carbon-rich materials, it ferments rapidly and releases compounds that feed beneficial microbes. A practical mixture is 1 part chopped horseradish to 10 parts brown materials such as leaves, straw, or shredded cardboard. This reduces the heat of the root while allowing it to contribute minerals like calcium, magnesium, and sulfur to the compost. Over a few weeks, the horseradish loses its intensity and becomes a microbe-rich organic addition perfect for soil building. Adding this compost around hungry crops such as tomatoes, peppers, squash, and leafy greens creates visibly better growth within a few weeks, especially when applied in a 1-inch top dressing around the root zone. Another powerful use of horseradish is as a natural disease deterrent, especially for fungal and bacterial issues that thrive in humid conditions. Horseradish extracts have shown antimicrobial properties that can reduce the spread of powdery mildew, rust, and certain leaf spots. To make a disease-preventative spray, combine half a cup of grated horseradish with 2 cups of hot water and let it steep for 2 hours. Strain, dilute with an equal amount of cool water, and spray lightly on susceptible plants once every 7 to 10 days during high-risk periods. Cucurbits, roses, fruit trees and beans respond especially well. This does not replace good airflow, spacing or sanitation, but it acts as a valuable shield during stretches of humidity or sudden weather shifts that favor disease outbreaks. One of the most surprising but effective uses of horseradish in the garden is as a companion plant that protects other crops. Horseradish releases compounds into the soil and air that repel certain pests, especially around fruit trees. Old orchard growers commonly planted 1 horseradish root at the base of each apple tree. While science is still catching up to these traditional observations, gardeners consistently report fewer pest issues and improved tree vigor when horseradish is planted nearby. The key is placement and control, since horseradish spreads aggressively. Planting 1 root about 1 foot away from the trunk and occasionally harvesting to keep it contained provides the protective benefits without allowing it to take over. This method also works near berry bushes and grapevines, where root-boring pests tend to be a problem. Perhaps the most practical household use that benefits gardening indirectly is transforming horseradish into fire vinegar or tonic, supporting the gardener's own health and stamina. A gardener is only as productive as their own energy allows, and horseradish has been used for centuries to stimulate circulation and support respiratory health. Preparing a tonic is simple. Just combine 1 cup of grated horseradish with 1 cup of raw apple cider vinegar, add optional garlic or onion, and let it infuse for about 2 weeks. A teaspoon added to warm water during cold seasons can support circulation and immune function. While this isn't a gardening practice applied to soil or plants, it is an old gardener's way of staying active, alert, and prepared for long days working the beds. A harvest that supports both the soil and the gardener is always valuable. Finally, horseradish roots can be preserved and stored in several forms to extend their usefulness year-round. Grated root freezes exceptionally well and, retains most of its potency when packed tightly in small jars or freezer-safe bags. Dehydrated horseradish can be powdered and added to pest sprays, compost accelerators, or soil drenches. Fresh roots stored in slightly damp sand in a cool location can last months without losing its heat or potency. This means a single large harvest can supply your garden with natural pest control, disease support, and soil-building resources for an entire year. Horseradish is far more than a culinary novelty. It is a resilient perennial with a long history of practical, grounded use in gardens around the world. Whether it's repelling pests, strengthening microbial life, deterring disease, protecting trees, or supporting the gardener's own well-being, horseradish earns its place as one of the hardest-working plants you can grow. Instead of wondering what to do with a big harvest, just think of it as a set of tools waiting to be used. If this guide gave you real value and you want more practical, field-tested gardening strategies, make sure to subscribe to Gentle Herb Gardening and share this with others who want to get more from every plant they grow. Your support helps keep these deep dive guides coming.